Welcome back, everyone. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about a game that, to me, has got me so hyped. I'm talking about Bethesda's new game, Starfield. When I watched it, I could not stop smiling. Honestly, it is everything that they said it was going to be, in my opinion, and more. They had so much to show. And let's just dive into that, shall we? So first and foremost, I want to talk exploration. They always do at Bethesda those sort of jaw-dropping, eye-opening moments, whether it's coming out of a vault in Fallout 3 for the first time, or seeing a mountain in the distance in Skyrim and being told, hey, you can go there. What really caught my attention this time, though, in Starfield, is a wide-eyed moment for myself when Todd was showing off parts of the gameplay, parts of the setting, if you will, and the player character is looking up to the sky, and then he says,
"That isn't just a backdrop. That moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too."
And that's when it sort of hit me that it's not just for show. It's not just, hey, here's a hub world, here's, your house or base or whatever. You can go and explore, I would say almost anywhere. There's always that underlying tone with games. Obviously, there has to be some sort of boundary, but whatever that boundary is, it's far off, far-flung, if you will, and you will not notice it until you've spent, in my opinion, hundreds of hours in the game. Now, I could continue talking more about the exploration, and honestly, maybe I will do more in-depth videos, but this is an overview of the game, and I feel like I've even spent too much time on this. So let's continue to the next part. The RPG aspect. Now, if you're like me and you love any sort of RPG, I'm talking TTRPGs like D&D and Pathfinder. If you played the games Mass Effect, for example, other IPs from other companies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I say making and designing your character is just as much fun as playing the game. It helps you get more immersed into the game world and give you a reason for your character's decisions and choices. And in Starfield, they take that to a whole new level, in my opinion. Now, with character customization, they have basically upped the ante, where before you had a couple of hairstyles, a couple of face presets for any of their games, truthfully, and then they kind of kick you out and they say, good luck, buddy. In Starfield, they're giving us the tools that they used to create our character the same way any NPC in the game would be. So the customization is on an all-time 11 out of 10, but they've also revamped their skill trees, backgrounds, and they've added a trait system. Backgrounds help you tell the story of who your character used to be before they set out on whatever Starfield's journey is. Kind of a starter set of skills, 3, I believe. Now let's talk about traits. Traits are an optional thing that you can add to your character. Traits, you can have a max of 3, which is really cool. It sort of adds more complexity to your game. You can take ones, for example, like you can have actual parents in the game to go and visit. They're actually there and you can go visit them in their home. They welcome you in, and it was really cool to see in the direct. As well as you could get the adoring fan who follows you around on your space adventures. He gives you all of these awesome presents, apparently. He showers you in adoration, but the drawback for him is that, well, he's annoying. And I mean, like, really annoying.
I believe I get to stand near you, breathing the same air.
I've got to have every molecule.
But that's fine. I'm going to take him. I think it's hilarious. And I'm going to name him Chat, and I'm going to play it on stream, and it's going to be really funny. Last but not least, let's talk about skill trees, because skill trees are really cool in this game where they have 5 different types. You have physical, social, you have combat, science, and lastly, tech. And these help define the playstyle that you want to do. So I assume social ones will be things like being able to talk your way out of situations or intimidating people into doing or giving you what you want, right? Whereas I know in the tech tree, they showed off that you can get a hover pack, something that allows you to sort of do small, quick dashes in the game, which will help you traverse the land, help you in combat, so on and so forth. And I think that's really cool. But it doesn't just stop there, because not only do you unlock the ability once you get it, but you actually get different levels of ranks, I believe is how they describe it, and those ranks improve your skill at it. I like to think of it more as the more you're using it, the better your character gets at it. And I think that's cool because it's simple enough and it encourages you to use the skills that you've invested time into, and it just rewards you by furthering you down that path to show, hey, you were okay at this, now you're good, and now you're great at it. And I like that. I like that system. It helps me, again, become more immersed in the character. Now, with all this talk about space, I think it is only fair to give the very thing that will be taking you to space a little bit of time. So let's talk about ships, okay? Ships are something that I thought would be pretty simple. You can buy a ship, you can sell a ship, get a ship that's fast, get a ship that's strong. And I was so wrong. I mean, again, I have not been following the news cycle. Maybe others in the comments down below, you can tell me if we've known this for a while, but the ships and the systems that are sort of tied to them are amazing. You can fully customize a ship to an extent that I have never seen in any game before. And when you add or take away compartments, whether that's another mess hall or perhaps an extra engine room or more living quarters, it is honestly overwhelming. It is so cool and so exciting because when you change those around, when you go into the ship first person, it actually changes how it looks in the game. So yes, I do expect, I will say with that in mind, I do expect lots of schweens to be made, to be posted all over the internet. But once we get past that, once all the funny ha-has are done with, I do think that people are going to come up with some amazing designs for their ships. I feel like I'm not explaining this enough, and maybe I'll do a deep dive into each of these topics in a future video. If you guys would like that, actually, please let me know down below. I'm really trying to figure out in general what I should be covering. I'm just sort of doing a lot of stuff at the moment because I'm having a lot of fun just sort of recording and covering a bunch of different topics. So let me know down below what you would be interested in hearing. Now, there's so much more to talk about in Starfield. I really have just scratched the surface, but that'll about do it for today's video. Let me know what else you are excited for in Starfield or any sort of reservations that you have about the game that I maybe did not cover on any topics here. This was, again, an overview. I haven't done a deep dive into a lot of it. And let me know as well, what other games at the Games Direct got you excited? I know I have a list of other games that I would like to cover this year, and I will hopefully get to those very soon. But until then, guys, stay cosmic.